it is on.
No, I'm not out here.
You're perked up.
But I'm not out here, right?
No, you're just right there going into there.
Oh, I am. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
All right, ready? Ready? Oh, yeah.
You're already on.
Okay, this is 411 Sports Talk Radio on 411radionetwork.com. I am Cedric Lyons, the benchwarmer. We've been talking to all these players. We're at the CGS College Gridiron Showcase, and we've been talking to all these players. And I want to start bring the agent on. I'm with James Krenis, who's an agent for a lot of players in the NFL. So how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty well. It's been a long day.
Yeah, I understand. So as an agent, what do you look for as far as in players?
The first thing I look for is a desire. Mm-hmm. They've got to really burn for it, because there's too many people that just think they either can make it on effort, without effort, mm-hmm. or, they've already made it because they're playing D1 ball or something like that. So the first thing is effort. Then the next thing is attitude, as far as, are they clean? Are they, do they come across as somebody who's going to be just not likable,
mm-hmm.
A lot of those guys make it,
right?
But that's not what I'm looking for. And then, of course, you've got to look for the skills, the superiority mm-hmm. In skills, the burst of speed, the power, the finish, things like that are, the size. You've got to have an NFL body mm-hmm. for your position.
So that's kind of the last thing you look for is the skill set, but you want the character first.
Well, I mean,
they got to have something.
That's the harder thing to find. Everyone with eyes can look and say, oh, that guy looks like an NFL
mm-hmm.
player. And then you can watch further and say, oh, he plays like he's got NFL skill set. Mm-hmm. But what you don't know is what's between his ears.
Right.
And that's one of the reasons we're, for this game and all these all-star games is these guys, the scouts are more interested in finding out about what's between their ears than what they do on the field. They got years of tape to watch.
Mm-hmm. It's about years of ear space to watch now.
Right. You gotta, like I said, if you're complacent, if you're on an SEC, for example, team, and you've been scholarship the whole way, you might think that life's going to continue the way it's been, and you just put your hand out and mm-hmm. grab a handful of Nike this, and the girls are chasing you around, mm-hmm. and everything is the boosters are bowing to you and whatever, and really, when you get to the next level, that little D3 guy, might
tears you up,
might eat your lunch.
Mm-hmm. And you've seen that happen before, huh?
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. In fact, a number of the guys that I have in the league don't come from big schools at all.
Really? So, do you actually go out to smaller schools because they're more humble?
No, because you can't generalize. There are some very humble players that play at big schools. Mm-hmm. And then there are some guys that feel very entitled from small schools.
Right.
So it's a mix. It's a mix. And it's just, there's no formula, because obviously there's a lot of agents and there's a lot of teams, and some teams do well and some teams don't. If there was a magic answer, then everyone would be going for the same one.
It wouldn't be that magical, it wouldn't.
Yeah.
So how do you find these type of players? What is your methodology of looking for certain players that you want to deal with?
You got to get to know them. You got to talk to them. You got to talk to them early. You got to get to know their families. Let them get to know yours. Mm-hmm. Get a vibe. Talk to scouts. Talk to administration mm-hmm. In the NFL, even in the CFL. It's a different league, but the scouting is very similar.
Interesting. So, is an event like the CGS, does that help you out a lot?
The CGS is a great event. I had a kid that wasn't on anyone's radar that the first year of the CGS they got drafted.
Wow.
In the 6th round too, not like not the last moment.
He wasn't Mr. Irrelevant. Huh?
Right. Yeah. So yeah, it's a good event. It's a really good event. And Craig and Jose just they really knock it out of the park, and and it's hard to be a startup,
right? You're very hard.
And they're making it. Just look at where they are now compared to a couple of years ago. Look at where the event is. Look at the number of teams and representatives. Neil Stratton's had an important hand in it. does really well with Inside the League. And, so it helps everybody. You know, it helps the kids, it helps the agents, it helps the teams. There's always room. I tweeted this morning. There's always room for a well-run all-star event because at this level, these late-round guys, late-round PFAs, there's 500 of them, 600 of them.
And those are the ones that will be in the league longer than the first or second round draft choices.
Well, and some actually statistics would say that's not the case. The first rounders make it. But, I mean, the difference between 5th, 6th, 7th, and PFA is not very significant.
No, it's a little small difference, huh?
Right, and this is where they can start to sort that out. Or this guy, we should really go hard after him. We should offer him that, $10,000 PFA instead of we'll see.
So do you have some players here that you deal with?
Players at the game this year? Yeah.
Here at the CGS.
Yeah, I've got 7 guys here this year.
Okay.
In the All-Star event.
Okay. Now, did you get them to the event, or did you get them here at the event?
Oh no, they were all signed
up
before. Yeah, it's probably not a good idea to be signing guys at an event.
Okay.
There are a few exceptions, but to me, that's an indication of indecision at the best, and at the worst, it's that they really weren't being pursued, or they were looking for something unreasonable. And again, that's a generalization, and
right.
There are exceptions.
Okay. Well, last question: what was the highest player as an agent that you had drafted? Highest round?
Oh, just 6th round. I really. The bigger agencies tend to eat up the higher draft picks, and it's kind of a different world. They tend to be big companies, for very famous names that have been known for decades, and a lot of those guys, again generalizing, but the draft picks, they want a lot.
That's not generalizing.
Yeah, so it doesn't really. It doesn't pay for me to work that kind of player for the most part.
It's like a fish in a pond, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I just like I like the relationship stuff. Like that guy that just walked past me. He's one of my guys.
Okay.
Cal, so.
Okay. Well, James, I appreciate you on. And go get you some rest.
Yeah, we'll do.
All right. Thanks a lot, James. This has been 41 Sports Talk Radio on 41radio.net. We will be right back.